Let's be honest, have you ever stood in your Shinjuku apartment holding an empty bento box and just felt completely lost? You're wondering, is this combustible? Recyclable plastic? What do I do with this little soy sauce packet? Trust me, you are not alone. Sorting trash here can feel like a super complex puzzle, but today, we're going to give you all the cheat codes. We're breaking down the official guide to turn that confusion into total confidence.
So, here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the big trash challenge in Shinjuku, then jump right into your everyday combustibles. After that, we'll get into the details of recycling. Then, we'll cover the tricky stuff, bulky and hazardous waste. And by the end of this, you'll be a sorting pro. Let's dive in.
All right, first up, let's just talk about the challenge itself. Whether you're brand new to the neighborhood or you've been here for a bit, the whole system can look pretty intimidating at first glance. So our goal here is to cut through that noise and turn the chaos into total clarity.
We've all been there, right? You're standing over like 3 different bins, holding an empty drink bottle, and you just freeze. Does the cap go with the bottle? What about the label? It's that classic moment of panic, especially if you're new to how things work around here.
But you know what? Here's the good news. The system is actually really logical once you get the hang of it. It's all about understanding a few key categories. And once you get those down, that chaos just starts to melt away. So let's start with the one you'll be dealing with the most.
Okay, let's kick things off with the biggest and most common category, combustibles. This is your everyday trash, the stuff you'll have the most of. And honestly, it's the easiest place to start.
So what counts as combustible? Well, it's most of your kitchen scraps. Just make sure you drain off any extra water first. That helps keep things clean and less smelly. Things like paper scraps that can't be recycled, diapers, old rubber or leather goods, and even small plastic things like a broken toy. They all go in here. Oh, and a super important tip for cooking oil, please never pour it down the drain. Just soak it up in some paper towels or use a solidifier, then toss it in your combustible bag.
And now, we're moving on to the section where the little details really matter. This is mastering the art of recycling. Getting this part right is absolutely key.
This right here is probably the most important rule for recycling plastic in Shinjuku. Think of it as the cleanliness test. If you have a plastic food tray and you can get it clean with just a quick, light rinse, then yep, it's recyclable. But, and this is a big but, if it's super oily or stained like a cup from instant noodles, and a quick rinse isn't going to do the trick, then it belongs in the combustible bin. It's really that simple. Clean means recyclable, dirty means combustible.
A perfect example of where you see these rules in action is with plastic drink bottles, or what are often called PET bottles. They have their own little set of rules, but don't worry, it's a super simple 3-step process.
Okay, so step 1, give the inside a quick rinse. Step 2, and this part's really important, take off the cap and peel off that plastic label. We'll get to why in just a sec. And finally, step 3, crush the bottle flat. This just helps save a ton of space. So, here's why you took everything apart. The crushed bottle itself, that goes in with all the other bottles and cans. But the cap and the label, they're actually made from a different kind of plastic. So those 2 little pieces go into your recyclable plastic bag right alongside your clean food trays. See? It's all about getting the right materials in the right place. Now, compared to that, paper recycling is so much easier. The main rule here is just to sort by type. So you keep your newspapers with newspapers, cardboard with cardboard, and then all your other magazines and mixed paper together. Just bundle them up, tie them with some string, and you're good to go. No bags needed for this one, just a nice, tidy stack.
All right, moving on. We've totally covered the everyday stuff, so now let's tackle what I call the tricky stuff: metal, ceramic, and glass. These are usually only picked up a couple of times a month, so it's extra important to get it right when you put them out.
So this category covers things like small metal pans, kettles, glass jars, and ceramic mugs. But, and this is for anything that's broken or sharp, like a shattered plate or an old pair of scissors, there's a massively important safety rule. You have to wrap it up securely in thick newspaper or cardboard. And then you need to clearly label that package with the word kiken. That's kiken, which means dangerous. This is such a simple step, but it's crucial for protecting the collection workers from getting seriously hurt.
Okay, next up are the things that can absolutely, under no circumstances, go into your regular trash bags. We're talking about bulky and hazardous waste. These guys need some very special attention. So hazardous items are anything that could pose a fire risk or contaminate the environment. For things under pressure, like spray cans or lighters, the #1 rule is that they have to be completely empty. No exceptions. Once they're empty, you just group them all together in a separate, clear bag with other hazardous things like old batteries or fluorescent bulbs. And speaking of batteries, there's one more critical safety step you gotta know. Before you pop them into that bag, take a small piece of tape and cover both the positive and negative ends. This insulates the terminals, and it's a super simple way to prevent them from sparking and causing a fire.
Now, what about the big stuff? In Japanese, that's called soldai gomi. The rule of thumb is really easy. If an item is bigger than 30 centimeters, which is about a foot, on any side, it's considered bulky waste. We're talking about things like furniture, big rugs, even bicycles. You can't just leave these out on the curb. You have to schedule and pay for a special collection.
Arranging that pickup is actually pretty straightforward. You just call this number, the large-sized Waste Reception Center, at 03-5304-8080. When you call, just be ready to tell them what your items are. They'll tell you how much it'll cost and give you a collection day. After that, you just go to a convenience store, buy the special disposal stickers for that amount, and stick them on your items. Easy peasy.
And you know what? That brings us to our final section. You've learned all the categories, the safety rules, the special cases. You are ready. You are now a sorting pro. So let's just go over one final checklist to lock it all in.
Okay, let's wrap this all up with the 3 golden rules. First, always get your trash out by 8 a.m. on your collection day. Second, always use the correct bags, the official paid ones for combustibles and just plain clear bags for your recyclables. If you mess this part up, you might find your trash still sitting there at the end of the day. And third, this one is vital. Collection days are different for every single neighborhood, so you have to check the specific schedule for your address.
Now, you do not have to memorize every single thing we talked about today. Shinjuku City has provided the ultimate cheat sheet, an official waste separation app. Go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen right now to download it. You can literally search for any item, and it'll tell you how to sort it. Plus, it gives you a personalized collection calendar for your exact area. It is, without a doubt, the easiest way to make sure you get it right every single time. Thanks for joining me, and happy sorting!